Okay, here we are. This is the project that we showed on YouTube last week. This was a concrete porch originally built with a garage below. It was closed in within the last probably 15 to 20 years with some vaulted, some scissor trusses, some skylights, and it was kind of converted into maybe a 3 seasons room and had some electric heaters up here high on the wall. And a split unit was added for AC. The bathroom was probably original with the garage addition, I'd assume, or it was added later on. We don't have that answer, but there's a sauna there, shower there, and tile floor with heat in it. There's no HVAC in here other than the split unit and those electric heaters that were up there. Well, of course, you had the wood burning fireplace. But we are converting this into a custom kitchen space. And the challenges here are the fact that they want to put wood floors on it. And we need to have heating and air conditioning here that actually supports the space, the heating and cooling load, because of the concrete floor below, or the concrete basement that is uncontrolled temperature down below. Plus we have to get all our mechanicals in through here, electrical, plumbing, gas. In the second part of this project, once this kitchen is functional for them to use, this kitchen here will be converted to a butler's pantry with a mudroom over there, a laundry, and a functional setup here with a gas stove, electric range, and a sink there. The sink from the island will be gone. The sink that was here is gone. There'll be a sink there. The cabinets are going to be repurposed. In the space, we've taken a couple of the old cabinets out. One will go there. We've got a new one coming for this spot. So we've got some repairs and stuff to do to these cabinets and make everything look copacetic, and new moldings and stuff to tie it all together. So it should turn out pretty nice. What else do we got here? This originally was a sliding glass opening here. This is our new pass-through opening. This insulated door will go out. This will be a walk-through. Just an opening pass-through, since the temperature in here will be regulated correctly with the house. This door is getting changed out. The exterior is getting completely redone. The deck outside is getting taken off. This landing here, below here, is also concrete floor with the basement underneath of it as part of the garage. So all this from here out, actually this part here is an addition on the house too. So when the kitchen remodel was done, and they extended this out about 4 or 5 feet. So this is all concrete straight through here, all the way back through underneath the bathroom, 4 feet into the existing old kitchen, and then underneath this whole addition. So we took out there was big 12-foot sliding doors, three of them. Took all the doors out, and you have everything framed in, large windows there with lower operable lights, casements here, a large 9.5-foot window here. The sink will be centered right on this window, overlooking the pool area. We had to build this floor up to get to our wood floor for the door correctly, and flash it and aluminum clad it correctly so that water doesn't penetrate back down in underneath our floor, underneath our door. So the challenge on this wall here is the foundation for this garage, since it has precast stressed concrete beams and poured floor on top of that, is that the foundation wall is 10 inches, and we can't put any plumbing in the exterior wall for freezing. We also can't get our gas line in because everything's poured between the beams. You have the concrete joists, and then you have, between there on the end wall is poured concrete as well. So we are actually bringing the gas up underneath the stove, igniting over. Same thing with the water for the refrigerator, for the ice maker. That will come up inside a cabinet next to the refrigerator. So it's not on the outside wall. So all that stuff is planned out ahead of time. All the electrical, there's a lot of holes in here from old outlets and things like that. I think there was 4 or 5 total floor outlets in here, and we're only saving one of them for underneath the island. So this opening here is a chase for our electrical to get his home runs in here, because that'll be a blind corner the way this is set up now. This will be a blind corner so he can get all his chases up through here. This wall here, we could not get the correct fall to get our plumbing drain back without getting into the stack in the existing home, down in the basement of the existing original house, into a loop vent. We wanted to do a loop vent where it comes back up underneath the sink, loops back down, and vents back out. We were going to tie into this, but we would have had to get in the stack to get enough fall to get this extra 10 or 12 feet away from the old foundation to get the right fall and then have the right pitch also for the vent line. So what we decided to do was fur this wall out 3 inches behind the cabinets. As you can see with the electricians, they just doubled their studs there for their boxes. We're going to fur this out 3 inches. Our plumbing is going to come up here underneath the cabinet, and then we'll vent up this stud space and we'll vent it out through the soffit outside. We'll get up inside there, pull the roof off in that area, and get the vent up here, and then we're going to arm over on the surface to pick up the sink right here. So we're within our 5 foot for code for arming over, and then we'll have our vent right there. Our water lines will come up through there in the heated conditioned space, so we can keep that 10 inches away from the 10-inch concrete foundation below. Also, in the difficulty to that was bringing this out 3 inches, is that our cabinets originally ended here, so we couldn't get into the stud space at all, because we can't drill through these king studs, because they're only 2x4s. Otherwise we would, probably no problem there. But it was already existing 2x4, so we kept it 2x4 construction because we're not gonna rebuild the whole room by any means. So what we did is we added a 9-inch cabinet to this run, and that's actually supposed to be in next week already. So added a 9-inch cabinet, pan cabinet. It's just gonna be 9 inches wide for pans with a drawer. That'll get our cabinet over to this edge here. And then this will be out 3 inches, and we'll have an extended cabinet panel on the end. Instead of 24 inches or whatever, or 23 1/4, it'll be 30-inch panel, rip it to fit to cap that in. So you don't see that 3-inch extension of the wall below. And then the countertops here are also, they're quartz, so they're gonna go to the window anyway, so it'll be a seamless line of countertop to the window. And that was planned anyways originally, so adding that 3 inches, you're really never gonna notice it at all. And that's really the only way we could do this wall. We've already brought the plumbing inspector from the city in here and walked through the 3 options we had, and adding that cabinet and furnace out 3 inches just saved everybody's butt. So that's what we came up with. What was I gonna add on that? There's a microwave will be here, built into the cabinets. Undermount fire clay sink here, dishwasher here, and then we'll have our 9-inch cabinet next to the dishwasher, and then a 24-inch from there to there. So we'll stub up inside the cabinet. It will take up a little bit of cabinet space, but it's fine. We've added cabinet space to the job to make up for that, obviously, with this already. So these windows, when we're doing cabinets that flow, one of our things we do a lot of is we flow our countertops into windows, so you don't have a change in elevation or drywall behind your sink. We do a lot of custom stuff like that when we have the opportunity, because it's seamless, looks good. I've got quite a few of them at my house, honestly. I did too. So, but figuring out the height of the window before counters or cabinets are even set, and plus we had to do this, the wood floor. We had to build up the wood floor. We put a bunch of 7/16 OSB sleepers in, all glued and Tapcon down, and put 3/4 inch OSB plywood OSB on top of that to get our elevations the same, to get the wood floors to be able to weave into the existing house, which is actually turning out really well. Other than the fact that it's an old house, so you got some sag there, and then you have the addition, and it comes uphill and then downhill, and then it ties in. There's a little bit of a high spot right there. It's just an old home, and you can only do so much. And I believe this porch had a little bit of a slope in it through the middle when it was originally an open porch. So there's a little bit of a slope down through the middle, but I mean, you can't feel it. You can't even hardly see it at all. If it's anything, it's might be within a quarter or half of an inch at the most. But that's, going to look about norm with the existing house anyway. So you just don't see it. So if you can't see it or feel it, it's usually a good thing. So, but that had to be built up. We had to get these windows set to the correct elevations before any of this was even done. So trying to get that figured out was pretty tough. This wall here was all furred out. This was built out about 6 inches here. Had a facade wall on it with the glass sliding doors between the two walls as a pass-through for this Three Seasons area. We got all that ripped off, and so this will be a clean, that soffit there will be gone. This will all be a clean soffit there, drop down, get rid of these can lights. Just doing a lot of cleanup stuff. A lot of old wiring was just left in the wall. It was thankfully dead. We did find one hot one, but that will be all cleaned up, excuse me. Since we converted this into a parade home project, we are changing a few things. The homeowner is going to go ahead and have us replace the existing back door of the house that is probably one of the original doors. It's an old wood door. It's flimsy, it's got a lot of glass in it, so that's going to be redone with the black paint on the exterior. This original scope of this project was the 2 fireplaces in the house were going to be updated to gas, and I took that out of the scope for a later project. But now, since it's a parade, we're going to go ahead and do this gas with the Colony's going to do a gas fireplace. We'll get rid of this wood burning completely. Put a, can't remember the brand of it, but it's a 42-inch concealed or sealed combustion natural gas heating style fireplace with a gas log. It will have a blower remote control, and that is going to get essentially the same place. We're going to build this hearth. Since the wood floors are already started, we're just going to keep the same footprint for the hearth. They do like the hearth idea. We're going to use facing stone. It's faced. It's just like 1/2 or 3/4 inch thick brick that'll get put on its face. And so we'll get this all tore apart and get the facing stone. I'll have our masonry guys come in and do that when we're ready. But we have to get a detail on that. We're not going to stone the sides of these. Drywall repair needs done there. We're not going to stone the sides of these. We're going to start stone the face here, and then the hearth. We're going to do all 4 sides, the small ends, the front and the top. So we'll have to have a detail here with the corner bead. We'll recess our material probably 1.5 inches so we can add our cement board and then the stone. So there's a nice detail here so the stone isn't sticking out. So it kind of flows in seamlessly. Just little stuff like that. We're thinking about that stuff ahead of time before we even order the products or finalize the products. We're always thinking about the details of what we need to do to make sure that it has the right look and it looks like it's actual masonry fireplace. So a lot of thought goes into that. Well, and we have to bring gas up to this, which fortunately this house has a pool heater, 2 furnaces. It's got a Navion on-demand water heater. So at one point in time, they did add a 2-pound gas system to the house. Actually, I think they have both. They have the standard 1/2 pound and then plus a 2-pound gas. So we should be able to get that gas stove. That's a multi fuel. It's gas electric. It's going to come out here. So that's got the 220 plus gas. We already have the gas load for that figure. We've got to add gas load for that as well, plus the garage heater down below in this corner, since we're heating the garage below to get the ambient temperature of this space where it needs to be, so that can take over temperature up here in the winter, because this was really cold when I did this job back in January. It was super cold in here, so we just had to brainstorm and got something figured out. But got to bring gas up and electric up for that, which should work because like the heater's right over there, so they should be able to bring over probably a 3/4 and tee off up in the ceiling to catch these 2 appliances. As far as electrical load, there's already like 5 electrical panels in this house. In the basement, it's a nightmare. They've got a Generac generator. It's been abused over the years. That this panel was added. I don't know why they put a 100 amp panel in with 8 circuits. They should have put a 100 amp in with, I don't know, 12, 20 circuits just to have it. So we've talked about updating this to a larger capacity to just pick up this addition. because otherwise our home runs have to go all the way back to the existing house in the far corner. So that's to be determined yet. And we still have to feed in a pendant location here for the island, which we can have the electrician get into the soffit, fish it up above, outside, and then we can get up, run across inside the soffit and come back down inside the wall. So that should be fairly easy to do. The range hood for this house, they want to reuse that existing one. And I think we can reuse the existing trim piece if we raise the hood up a couple inches, which it's already too low. From talking to the homeowner, it is kind of low. Like I'm standing up here like this. So we should be able to reuse that and cut the angle for that to match the angle of this, these scissor trusses, because the hood's gonna go right there. And I found out yesterday that this does not vent out the roof. It's actually vented out the sidewall. And there's gonna be a window that goes here. So we need to get those pulled off probably tomorrow and start figuring out how we're gonna handle moving this to the new location. A lot of details to this. I mean, it just doesn't ever look like much, but there's a million things going on in the back that people don't see. All the trim on this job, we're gonna keep with the old look of the kind of the stacked trim. We probably won't do a pediment trim like that, the molding on top of this door. We can go over that with the homeowner when we get there, but these will all be extension jambs built on site, and we'll cap everything. And then I'll probably have it just all caulked and painted in place so everything kind of blends together. Unfortunately, those windows are staying. It just does not look good with the addition, but it's, you know, it's framed in that way. It's already curved. We're getting glass replaced. They have some bad seals on those, so those will get done. But it is staying, unfortunately. It does add a lot of light. We're gonna have our painter do the painting on this job now. That's the other thing we changed being it's a Pareto home, is we're gonna have our painter take over all the painting, so the homeowners don't have to do it. And that way we get our painter to get the professional finish on the project as well. So the wood floor guys are supposed to be out of here. Today's Thursday, 9:30 a.m. They started Monday. They've done a great job. These guys do. I think it's D&N Hardwood Floors. Mike is one of the guys we've been working with. Their homeowner actually subbed these guys out, not us, because they already did the existing entire house this year. And they go ahead and just hired them to do the rest of this project. But they should be done tomorrow, because we're kicking them out this week because we have to get back in here and start getting stuff prepped ahead of everybody else. They have subs coming in next week. Plumber and electrician, I gave them a couple days next week. They have to get their rough ends all prepped and done so we can get inspections, start getting sheetrock on, because we've got cabinets getting ready to, I mean, they're sitting in warehouse right now. They need to be put in so we can get this project templated, get countertops coming, and keep things moving, since we do have a deadline now and we haven't even started in there. So we need to get this functional here. So starting to set some deadlines on stuff and getting people moving. I think that's kind of it. I'd show you more. I'll do another video later with the basement and how the garage is set up. But I've put a little bit in there already, but we'll get some more of that coming. So thanks for watching.